big occasion like this. So yeah, lots to look forward to.
Will we be seeing Harry and Meghan?
Well, I mean, I'm just giving you all the glitz and glamour, and we still come back to Harry and Meghan, don't we? But I mean,
that is what the King should do with Prince Harry. That way, Meghan Markle will no longer be the Duchess of Sussex, a place she is unlikely to visit, as by all accounts she has refused to set foot in the UK ever again.
Would expect with a big occasion like this. So yeah, lots to look forward to. Will we be seeing Harry and Meghan? Well, I mean, I've just given you all the glitz and glamour, and we still come back to Harry and Meghan, don't we? But well, you see, that is what the King should do with Prince Harry. That way Meghan Markle will no longer be the Duchess of Sussex, a place she's unlikely to visit, as by all accounts she has refused to set foot in the UK ever again. The unthinkable has finally happened. After months, no, years of speculation, denials, and whispered palace leaks, King Charles has done what no royal watcher thought he would ever dare. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are officially no longer the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Of course, they were getting it from every which direction. Oh, and Meghan and Harry were off on their gallivanting, we want privacy tour. Yes, you heard that right. The titles that once symbolized modern royalty, global influence, and a chance to redefine the monarchy in the 21st century are gone. And it all unfolded in a way that even Buckingham Palace insiders are calling Shakespearean in its precision. It began, as all royal earthquakes do, with silence. The kind of silence that makes reporters check their phones twice. The kind of silence that hangs heavy before the storm. Just after dawn, the royal family's official website went dark for scheduled maintenance. Within hours, eagle-eyed followers noticed something had changed. A small update, almost invisible, had rewritten royal history. The pecking order when you go to the website, now they're much lower down. They're below Princess Alexandra and Duke of Kent, because obviously they're not members of the royal family anymore. Where it once read Their Royal Highnesses the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, it now said simply Harry and Meghan. No royal styling, no Sussex, just names. The internet exploded. Number sign no more Duke trended within minutes. Major networks interrupted regular programming. And while the palace's statement was short, just 67 words, it sent shock waves through the world. His Majesty the King has directed that in light of recent developments and ongoing concerns regarding the integrity and future of the monarchy, the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex shall be formally withdrawn. Harry and Meghan will retain no further working royal roles. Inside Buckingham Palace, sources described the atmosphere as icy calm. This wasn't a spontaneous decision. It was strategic, planned for months behind closed doors under a codename insiders now claim was Operation Sovereign Cleanse. And leading that operation, none other than Prince William, is my favorite source for royal news. And quite right, not that we're biased. Harry said in his BBC interview that he was forced to step away from royal duty due to security concerns. For months, tension between the brothers had simmered beneath the surface. But according to one senior aide, William had reached a breaking point. He wanted to protect the monarchy at all costs. The source revealed it wasn't about jealousy, it was about survival. The final straw, it seems, came after a series of behind-the-scenes reports suggesting that Meghan and Harry were preparing yet another unfiltered document, one that would allegedly dig into royal finances, a line that in royal terms simply cannot be crossed. William, along with Queen Camilla and several top advisors, reportedly told the king it was time to act, and act he did. Across the Atlantic in Montecito, the reaction couldn't have been more different. According to insiders, Meghan was stunned. Her first words, reportedly caught on camera by a nearby documentary crew, were a whisper. He wouldn't dare. Harry, meanwhile, was said to be packing their kitchen, red-faced, alternating between disbelief and fury. He had always feared this day might come, but he never truly believed his father would go through with it. Story: apparently palace officials have been trying their hardest to strip Harry of his titles. This wasn't just a title, it was identity, heritage, the link to everything he had left behind in London. When that was stripped away, something else broke too. Back in London, royal correspondents scrambled to decode the move. Was this a punishment, a final exile, or something even bigger? An attempt to draw a permanent line between the working royals and the Montecito rebels. Whatever the reason, the message was clear. The Sussex experiment was over, and the king, according to multiple insiders, he felt relieved. It was the hardest decision of his reign, one palace aide said, but also the most necessary. Charles, now 76 and keenly aware of his limited years on the throne, had long been haunted by the idea of a monarchy losing credibility under his watch. Harry and Meghan's continuous criticism through interviews, books, and documentaries had left a stain he could no longer ignore. So in one swift, calculated move, he chose legacy over love. But here's where it gets even more shocking. This wasn't a simple press release or symbolic gesture. This was a legal and constitutional act. According to palace insiders, the king had quietly consulted constitutional experts and government ministers months before the announcement. A royal decree, technically a letters pat, had already been drafted and signed in secret. By the time the news broke, the decision was irreversible. This was no temporary suspension. It was final, and when Parliament was informed later that afternoon, even senior MPs were reportedly caught off guard. One member of the House of Lords was overheard saying, "This is the end of the Sussexes as we know them." does not distinguish between private or commercial use of the HR. It reads, with the Queen's blessing, the Sussexes will continue to maintain their private patronages. Meanwhile, across the pond, Hollywood's reaction was swift and brutal. Within hours, PR analysts began debating what this meant for the couple's brand. The Sussex titles had carried prestige, legitimacy, and an air of royal mystery. Without them, Harry and Meghan were now just another celebrity couple in California. The magic's gone, one industry insider said bluntly. They're not the Duke and Duchess anymore, they're just Harry and Meghan. And as small as that difference might seem in the world of billion-dollar branding, it was seismic. Even Netflix executives who had famously signed the Sussexes to a multi-year deal were reportedly reviewing the couple's upcoming projects. One unnamed producer put it more harshly: the appeal was always royal. Without that, it's hard to sell the fairy tale. In the days that followed, the press painted vivid pictures of Montecito in chaos, Meghan's team in overdrive, lawyers fielding calls, Harry silent and withdrawn. One insider claimed that Meghan had ordered every member of her PR staff into an emergency meeting demanding total narrative control. "We will define this story," she allegedly said. No one else. Harry and Meghan of their royal titles. The New York Post is reporting that locals in the UK say enough is enough, especially after Prince Harry's disastrous BBC interview which aired. But as the days dragged on, it became clear that this time even Meghan's formidable media machine might be outmatched. Because this wasn't just another feud, another headline, another round of royal gossip. This was constitutional finality. The royal door had been closed and this time locked from the inside. Yet deep within the palace, one final question lingered. Why now? Why had the king chosen this precise moment to act? Some royal experts believe it was a calculated response to the couple's rumored plans for a second memoir, one allegedly more intimate than the first. Others claim it was William's growing influence behind the scenes, a sign that the heir was now shaping his father's reign. But one thing was certain: the monarchy had drawn its battle line, and the ex-Duke and Duchess of Sussex, they were standing firmly on the other side of it. When the news broke that King Charles had officially stripped Harry and Meghan of their titles, the world gasped. But inside the Montecito mansion, the gasp turned into a roar. Because if Buckingham Palace thought Meghan Markle would take this humiliation quietly, they didn't know her at all. According to insiders close to the Sussexes' camp, Meghan's first reaction was pure disbelief, followed by fury that shook the walls. She reportedly stormed out of a conference call with her PR advisors, slamming her phone down and shouting, "They will regret this. Every last one of them." This was not the polished, poised Duchess the world saw at charity galas and podcast interviews. This was Meghan unfiltered, the Hollywood operator who'd clawed her way to the top once before and wasn't about to go down without a fight. Whether Prince Harry and the Duchess of Montecito should lose their official royal titles. Within 24 hours, Operation Phoenix was born, Meghan's codename for what insiders describe as her revenge media plan. The goal: to reclaim control of the narrative and to strike back at the palace in a way that would hurt. She reportedly summoned her closest advisors, a tight inner circle of stylists, publicists, and brand strategists, to her Montecito estate. One attendee later described it as a war room disguised as a garden brunch. There were no mimosas, no laughter, just laptops, coffee, and fury. She wasn't crying anymore, the insider revealed. She was plotting. The first step of her plan was to rebrand fast. Meghan wanted to move beyond the royal label and double down on her own name. Out went the Duchess of Sussex. In came Meghan Markle, the woman, the movement. She allegedly ordered her team to overhaul her website, her podcast plans, and even her new lifestyle brand, transforming them into a full-blown global empowerment campaign.